You're trying to save me, stop holding your breath. And you think I'm crazy, yeah, you think I'm crazy.
Hi my angels, it's Haley Reese, and for today's video, we are going to be diving head on into yet another In My Haunted House series. So just recently, I did a video where I read some of the scariest two-sentence horror stories. And one of them actually contained a story to do with a mirror. I really briefly told you guys in that video how I have a thing with mirrors because ever since I was little, there was something pretty scary at my haunted house and just a whole backstory as to why this fear of mirrors came to the forefront. And you guys told me in the comments below that you wanted to hear that story, so that is the story that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. Before I get into today's video though, I just very quickly want to say, if you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Haley. My family on here is the Reese's Pieces, and we believe in the unbelievable. So if you too believe in the unbelievable or you just want to hear about it, all you gotta do is go ahead, click that subscribe button and join our family, because honest to goodness, this family is the best family on YouTube. Like, I feel like I'm so biased saying this, but I look at other people's videos and I look at the comments and I'm like, my goodness, I am just so lucky to have you guys and to have this community on here. So if you're looking for a family to join and you are just not yet subscribed, we would love it if you would join ours. So on that note, if you are new to my channel, I have a series here where I talk about my haunted house. I grew up in a super haunted house. It had a portal and a vortex in the basement, which sounds so unbelievable, but it's the truth. And so many things happened throughout the years. Now, I was very, very blessed to have grown up in a haunted house where there was never anything malicious or evil. It was just very, as my grandma would say, visited. However, there was one ghost that actually followed me from that house after I left that really, really freaked me out. And whether or not she was evil, whether or not she had bad intentions, or whatever the case was, I don't know to this day. It would actually be really interesting to me if you guys could let me know in the comments below what you think, but I still don't know to this day. All I know is that it was a very, very scary time, and that is where our story begins. So whether or not I'm psychic, whether or not I'm a medium and don't really know it, is up for debate. I'm not really sure what to call the things that I've experienced. All I know is that I've always, from a very small age, been really, really sensitive to things on the other side, and I've had the ability to see and communicate with things from the other side. So this story started when I was super little, and the way that my grandparents' bathroom was set up was the tub was on the right side. So if you were to walk in, the tub was on the right side, and on the left side there was like the counter and the mirror, and then the toilet was to the right of that. I have always loved taking baths ever since I was little. My mom does too. My grandparents used to always joke, you are your mother's daughter. And so from a very small age, one of my favorite things to do was to take a bath. I had like all of these like Barbies that were good to use in the water, and like they swam, and mermaids, and just like all of these bath toys. So like taking a bath for me was like a long endeavor. Like I would stand there for so long. So I remember one time I was in the bath and I had all of my bath toys in there and I was just playing, and obviously where I was in the bath, the mirror was so high up, not high up, but compared to me it was high up, that I couldn't see myself in the mirror, but I could see the mirror, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does, I hope so. So I'm sitting there and I'm playing with all of my bath toys, and in my peripheral vision, I see something there, and for a moment I think that someone's come into the bathroom. Because my grandparents always left the door open. Like I was old enough to be able to bathe by myself, but they wanted to come in and continuously check on me because obviously I'm in water, they don't want me to drown, so the bathroom door would stay open. So I wouldn't have necessarily heard somebody come in, so my first initial instinct was, oh, like grandma or grandpa just came in, because I saw someone in the mirror like moving. When I looked up to the mirror, I saw this woman. She was in all black, she had her hair tied up, and she had just like a very serious look on her face. Like she had no expression. She was staring in the mirror like as if It was literally as if she could be like on the other side looking through, like staring through, like as if this is the mirror and I'm on the opposite side and she's like staring through. And I remember just staring, trying to figure out who this was and why they were in the mirror, but they weren't actually in the bathroom. Like I could not see her standing in the bathroom. And I remember I called for my grandma and the woman's expression did not change. She simply went like this, as if to say like, don't call your grandma in. And as my grandma like was coming into the bathroom, this woman just like faded out. And so I told my grandma about this woman and she was like, it's okay baby, like blah blah blah. I mean, what do you tell like a little girl taking a bath that there's no one in the mirror? So it really freaked me out. And I remember being so afraid to go to the bathroom late at night because I would see the woman in the mirror every single time. It got to the point where if I had to pee in the middle of the night, sometimes I would literally hold it to the point where I felt like I was gonna explode because I didn't want to go into the bathroom and I didn't want to see her because she was really scary to me, like very, very, very scary to me. If I had to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, I would either wake somebody up to go with me or I would walk right past the mirror to the toilet, not look in the mirror at all, and leave. But sometimes it would be so hard not to, like, as I was leaving, peek up, and sure enough, she would be there with the most serious look on her face. And any time that I would try to call somebody in to see her, she would just go. So now fast forward to when I'm about, oh my goodness, 10 years old. And in school, it became a big thing of Bloody Mary. And I remember my school was actually super haunted by a little girl who had died there in the bathroom like years and years and years before. And this was like a story that even like my parents knew. Like everyone knew that this school was haunted. So everybody thought that it was like a good idea to go into the women's bathroom where she was haunting and like play Bloody Mary in the mirrors. And I would never do that. I honestly believed at this point that who I was seeing in the mirror was Bloody Mary. Like in my mind, I honestly thought like that I was seeing the real Bloody Mary. And so I was terrified because like everyone had their own versions of the story. Like I remember, I know to play Bloody Mary, you're supposed to like say Bloody Mary 3 times. I heard when I was a kid, you were supposed to like spin around 3 times saying it. And then like, I also heard another version where it was like, you would say like Bloody Mary 3 times and you would say, I have your child. Because I remember when I was younger, we heard this whole story of the reason that she's like evil is because her kid died. I don't even remember, but like I know that I was so terrified. And so I believed that I was seeing Bloody Mary in the mirror, and I believed that all of these stories that my friends were sharing were like about someone that was visiting me. So I remember that my parents used to let me go with my friend Megan to like this after school babysitters, and she babysat like all these kids, and occasionally she would babysit me too because I would go to hang out at Megan's after, so like she would just watch me for an hour and then I would go to Megan's. And I remember we were sitting at the top of like this playground, and Megan told me that if you leave your lights on all night, that she won't come, that like Bloody Mary's afraid of lights being on. So I kid you guys not, I would stay all night with my lights on, and if my parents would go into my room and turn the lights off, because parents do that when they go to sleep, I would wake up and the mirror across from me would have the woman in it. Now this was in my actual home, like after I lived in my house out of my grandparents' house. So I was just convinced that this woman was following me and that she was Bloody Mary and that I was gonna end up killed or she was gonna come out and like, I don't know, I was so genuinely afraid. So this is where it gets really, really freaky for me, you guys. So I remember it was recess and we were back in that school bathroom, and like this bathroom was just so creepy. I wish I could explain it to you, but I just don't have it in me to like explain the way it was. Like the sink was like a half moon shape and you had to push on like a pedal, like not a pedal, yeah, kind of like a pedal, but it was like a metal thing like around to like turn the sink on, and it was like a fountain sink, and like the bathroom was super dark, the lighting in there sucked, and there was like all these different mirrors. And I remember I was in there peeing and my friends decided to start to play Bloody Mary. So they're playing Bloody Mary and I'm freaking out and I'm trying to pee really, really quickly and I'm trying to like, you know, get out of there. And when I go out, all I see, and they don't see her, is the woman in the mirror going like this. I ran out of there so quickly. It wasn't even funny, and it was like one of the scariest things. I just remember my friends thought that I was crazy. I'm like, you didn't see her in the mirror, and they thought that I was making it up. They're like, you're lying, you didn't see her, and I was like freaking out. So eventually I tell my parents that I don't want to sleep with mirrors in my room anymore, that I don't want any mirrors in there because I see this woman in the mirror and I'm so sick of seeing her. So my parents actually removed all of the mirrors from my room for like a few years until I became a teenager. And teenagers, you guys know, need mirrors in their room because they got to get all teenager pretty up. So when I hit like 13, I brought all of my mirrors back into my room, and like I was like normal and everything. And to be honest with you guys, that was probably the last time I ever saw the woman. I do not see her anymore. I honestly forgot about it for the longest time, but any time that somebody talks about Bloody Mary, somebody talks about a ghost in the mirror or anything like that, it like brings back the fear that I once had, and it reminds me of this woman, and I can just still see her in my head, you guys, shaking her head like back and forth. Like, oh, it was really scary. I feel like maybe this story isn't as scary for you guys because you didn't see her and you don't know what she looked like, but it was a very, very freaky time. And as soon as this house that I'm living in now started to have like a ton of paranormal activity happening in it, I saw a sick man in my mirror. I'm not joking, you guys. And for a split moment, like when I had woken up and seen the face in my mirror, I was like, she's back. Like I just had that moment of fear where I was like, oh my goodness, like what is this? I don't know what this woman is. I don't know what her purpose was. I don't know what her attraction to me was. I don't know why she was trapped in my mirror. I have no idea. All I know is that she had a very negative energy around her, but it could have even been that she was sad that things had happened. Like I don't know, I can't read it. And I think that's what scares me the most about it, is I just don't know. What do you guys think? Like, do you think that she was something evil? Do you think that she was just like a lost thing? Do you think that, like, what do you think? Please let me know, you guys, in the comments below, because I always say this, but I truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. Like when I share any story with you and you guys leave in the comments below what you guys think, I take it really seriously, and I really love to read your guys' opinions and like everything that you think is happening. It just means the world to me, and I love it more than anything. I read all of your comments. I wish I was joking, but I do. I read all of them. You guys are my world. And so please definitely like talk it out in the comments below. Be really nice to each other. Be kind to one another as you do that. And that's basically it for the woman in the mirror. I don't know. It freaks me out to this day, and I'm 21 years old and I haven't seen her in years, but I can still see her implanted in my memory like it was yesterday. And I really thought, you guys, that I was seeing Bloody Mary. Like that was like the scariest. Oh my goodness, I was so scared. If you guys enjoyed today's video but you are not yet subscribed, please go ahead, click that subscribe button. I post a ton of videos. I don't want you to miss when I upload. I'm also doing my 31 days of Halloween coming up, which is where you guys will be getting a video every single day for the month of October. So you definitely don't want to miss that if you're not yet subscribed. And on that note, please go ahead and turn on your post notifications just so that you guys know when I upload. I feel like YouTube doesn't really like show people when I'm uploading, and I really don't want you guys to miss any of my videos, so please do that. And on that note, if you did enjoy today's video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really genuinely encourages me to keep on making these videos, so please do that. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until next time, love you.